Today, I am your host, Dr. Carolyn Garver, and I am the Clinical Director of the Autism Treatment Center in Dallas, and I have been in this business working at the Autism Treatment Center for the last 40 years. We currently serve 225 individuals, anywhere from the age of 3 to 75. When we talk about autism in two terms. We talk about the incidence of autism and we talk about the prevalence of autism. The incidence of autism is the number of new cases that arise in the situation. Prevalence means the number of cases already existing in the population. So when we talk about autism incidence is increasing, that means that the number of new cases is increasing in the United States. Right now, we're looking at 1 in 189 girls and 1 in actually 54 boys. I think it gets tossed around between 54 and 42. But the CDC states that there's 1 in 59 individuals in the United States today, and we're looking at a growth of about 15% a year. For all individuals, autism is a lifelong condition. But one of our biggest crises right now is in adult services. Children with autism, they get a lot of support through the school systems and through their 22nd birthday. And a lot of them do learn to transition, they get job skills. But many, many times when they do finally graduate from high school, there just is a void, and it's very, very difficult. About 75 to 80% of individuals with autism are unemployed. They have a really hard time finding jobs, and when they do, a lot of times they have a hard time keeping the job, due particularly to a lot of their social problems and social issues. Another situation is with jobs is housing. It's very difficult to find homes for individuals with autism. We have a lot of individuals who need services that have been on waiting lists for anywhere from 6 to 12 to 13 years. The waiting list in Texas for services through the waiver programs could be anywhere from 6 to 12 years. Currently, we have 17 group homes in the Dallas area, and we have 7 group homes in the San Antonio area. I get 40 to 50 calls per week asking me if I can help their child or their adult child or their teen. And one of the things that really gets to me the most is that I have to say, sorry, we're full. And the resources in the community are not there. Most individuals would love to be able to have their son or daughter living in their home, but again, there's aging situations and people get ill and they need places for their sons or daughter. One old model would be what we used to call a state school, which is now called a state-supported living center. But they are very actually difficult to get into, and because they're really not wanting to populate those types of programs anymore. They're really wanting more people to be out in the community. It's sort of an oxymoron. I mean, if you want us out in the community, then you need to give us the resources to be out in the community and to, give us the money that we need to be able to develop the services. In this clip, we see Benji, a 32-year-old man who is nonverbal and has a job bagging parts in a program for adults with autism.
It's a 10-minute call. The bus is early.
This is my partner, Maggie.
Benji, get up!
And our son, Benji, with autism.
She's here.
Hold on, it's a dispatcher. Yeah? Alert. He had a rough night.
Let her wait. He's got to eat. Ben, you've got to eat.
Just give us a minute or two, all right? Thank you.
The bus is here.
One more brush of the teeth, okay? Right? Watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4. You do it now. Yeah? No? No.
Got it? All right.
There you go.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Here are some common features of autism that I noticed about Benji in this clip. Benji has something we call sensory overload, and you can see this by the way that he is very hypersensitive to sound, and he's got his fingers in his ears. Benji will stim or have a self-stimulatory behavior when stressed. Transitions are very difficult for Benji. He's upset when his routine is interrupted, and so he may hand flap, which is a calming or coping behavior for him, which we call a stim. Since Benji's speech is limited, his communication style is through behavior and sound. Notice Benji pushes Maggie's hand away. Benji can be very impulsive. He is obsessed with his digital device. It takes two to manage Benji. His parents provide money management, hygiene, trips, safety, food, clothing, and shelter. Benji is an engaging, lovable young adult who will need supervision and support, safe boundaries, encouragement, and care for the rest of his life.